Oh, it's beginning to look a lot like Cappy over in Moab, Utah. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. It's the Clarey podcast because I haven't done a Clarey podcast in a bit. Very unplanned vacation. Didn't realize that's what I was doing. I just wanted to get out of the Twin Cities. Want to get out of my single room apartment. Want to get away from the woman. Bless her. But it was just like, no, I got to get out. I got to get out. I have to get out. And it shows you how not indoctrinated. Accustomed, comfy, settled you get. Where it's like, oh, I don't know. I got to go and get on a plane. I get on the car. Oh, they might call me from the... Nope, fuck it. I left. It was almost a chore when I left. I'm like, okay, we have to. Which that doesn't sound like the beginning of a vacation. We have to go to Moab because hotel prices will never be this cheap again. Although who knows? Maybe the Democrat governors will never open the economy ever again. And I gotta go, and we gotta do it now, and I'm gonna save myself at least, coming now, I saved myself at least $1,500 in hotel prices. Got my flight out to Vegas, hung out with the great Matt Boldoni, and drove up here. And immediately, as I said before on my Patreon podcast, the Road Trip podcast, I felt better once I got into the airport. I'm like, oh, yes, the environment is changing. Just changing the environment. And then I got to Vegas, got some great hiking in. I was like, oh, great one's going to show up. Rose is going to show up. Who else? Sergeant Craig showed up. Those are the only ones, the only faithful Percivals that showed up. And I got stabbed in the back by my best friends. I found out who my good friends were this trip. Oh, Percival Atham. Oh, how could you betray me? Yeah, man. He doesn't say man. He's got more of the Al Pacino Scarface. Meng. Yeah, Meng. I show up. Even my most loyal, adventuring, spelunking, cave-exploring friend, he stabs me in the back like Brutus. And as I'm driving out, I'm not going to... And he had reasons. I just want to give it... And then Elkins. We almost had Elkins poo show up. Elkins was like... He was salivating. He was chomping at the bit. Oh, no. The career with its tentacles strangled him back into Chicago. Oh, you could see it. It was like he was at a bordello, like, it's like, God, pay you $20 and go get laid. Go live a little, have some fun. No, he chose the not fun lever. Fun, not fun. Pulls the not fun lever. Career, education. Not education. He also, as everybody can probably surmise, I'm joking. These guys had legitimate reasons. And then they feel bad, like they got up, oh man, I'm sorry. It's like, no man, I understand. It wasn't like I got here when I was 25. You have to work at it. You got to establish your system. You got to get your life support system so you could go out and adventure. So while you're hiking, little dollar signs are falling from the sky. I don't know if you saw Ocean's 13, was it? I thought it was pretty cool where they... that also stars the one with Al Pacino, where he's the bad casino owner. And then when they go in and make all their money, and there's like dollar signs falling. That's what it's like when I'm hiking. Maybe not that much dollar signs, but like little dollar signs are falling in. Oh, a book sale here. Someone bought a coffee mug there. Someone made a donation. Little dollar signs are falling out of the sky while I'm hiking. It takes a while to build up that system, to build up that infrastructure, that business. So I understand why Atham's got to get his degree. Chad's got to... I don't know what Chad's got to do. He had something. I can't mention what he had. He had to do something legitimate. Although with him, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I get busted for being the Jew. I get busted for being the quarter Jew. Holy shit, Elgin, somebody in our Israeli or our Jewish community in Cappy, can somebody make him an honorary Jew? Holy stingy man. Cripes. Oh, he's waspy, but he should get like the Hall of Fame. There's frugality, but then it's like, loosen up the purse strings. Let's go. You're in your 40s. You're good. You're over half dead. You're over half dead. Let's go. He would have loved it. Chad would have absolutely, because he was in great shape, still is probably. When I visited him no more than 2 weeks ago, he kicked my ass running. And I was like, oh, dang, Chad's going to be in great shape for Moab. He's going to have no problem. Oh, he might have to adjust to the altitude. He might have to adjust. But he'll make up for it in cardiovascular health. So I was expecting to get my ass kicked. And he didn't show up. And then Chaplain Dave. I'm going to bust Chaplain Dave's balls here because he deserves busting. This guy's retired. He got his pension. He has nothing to do. But then he worries about his mother. Because his presence is, if his mom's going to die because of cardiac arrest, his presence will stop that heart from clogging up, right? I've known another guy like this. Oh, I gotta look after my parents. Like, I guarantee you, your parents like, get the fuck out of here and go have fun. And he was gonna come too. He was gonna, and he had to, like, before he planted his knife in my back, he had to say, oh dang, I was going to stab Aaron in his back here, but Chad stabbed him in his back here. And I was going to, then my number 2 spot on Aaron's back where I was going to stab him was going to be here. But Atham's knife is implanted in his back. All these people stabbing me in the back, there was no real estate left for Dave to stab his knife. And he said, well, maybe I'll get him in the lower back. I can get a kidney there, can I? He was showing up. Oh, Chaplain Dave. Boy, I like Chaplain. He's fun. Maybe not the greatest hiker, but he needed to get out. Oh, no. What would my parents do without me? I don't know, live? They'd be just fine? Because I've met his parents. They're not invalids. They're follow you guys. And Dave is not the only one. I've known other friends of mine about his age, my age. What if my parents need me? Well, I guess you know, what are you? Are you the ambulance? Are you a surgeon? What is the fear? Like they're gonna die without you at their bedside? The chances of you being at their bedside, especially if it's a sudden death. Like, let's think this logically through. Okay, if your parents are hacking up and Herman's got to go to the hospital. Oh, Dad, Dad starts tweaking out. He doesn't remember your name. Okay, maybe you stay around. But if your mom, Chaplain Dave's mom is wonderful. She made us food, and she just, all the help, like a real mom. This loving, caring mom. Well, you're Dave's friend. Here we are, me and Dave, well into our 40s. Oh, hello, boys. This wonderful grandmotherly lady making us food. Hey, Dave's mom. Oh, do you want some food? Yeah. She'd probably tuck you in that bed and give you a kiss on the forehead. Perfectly fine woman. I gotta worry about your mom, worry about you. Get the fuck out of town. Let's go. Their mental health is critical to this. And he canceled at the last minute because he was, even though his parents weren't like showing signs of death. I gotta stay around for my parents. My parents, I've had several rather terse conversations. Terse is the wrong word. Frank declarations. You better not get Alzheimer's. I'm not paying for you. You better have a bullet nice and shiny and ready. I'm not paying for you. Well, you better stay in shape, huh? Yeah. All that help I got in college, yeah, you get the same amount of help when you're nursing home. I am not coming to your rescue. You can watch over my property when I'm not there for your entire Social Security check. Are we clear? Yeah? Okay, good. I never like, geez, I hope my mom might die. Like, I check in, hey, how you doing? Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe it's like when you namby-pamby kids. You know how we treat black people like little infantile children? Oh, do you need a bad white man? Oh, you're suppressed. Who's suppressed? And you treat them like morons. And then it's like when you just treat them like normal dudes, because they are. Hey, what's up, fuck nuts? Get Dre in here. We pick on Dre. Bacon? Holy shit, did you know they rise to the occasion. But if you talk down to a little child, the child never develops. You put life on easy mode, you treat them like idiots, then you get like the single mom welfare queen. Oh, yeah, here's some more government money. Or you get into it with a group of guys, it could be the military, whatever, or just a bunch of guys. What are you doing, fuck nuts? What? Oh, it's racist. No, it's Dre. It's Bacon. We call them fuck nuts. Oh my God, look. They're not retards. It's the same thing. Like, if you don't spar with your older parents and, you don't treat them like adults, you go into not even the nursing home, the assisted living, and you talk down to them, does that then lower the brain capacity? Because everyone just thinks they're idiots. And so they don't get that stimulation, they don't get that stimuli, they don't get that sparring, that exercise, that mental exercise that keeps them sharp. Oh, how's my day? Hello, mother. Hello, Joby. Go. How was dinner? My grandma ain't that way. My grandma's still alive. Bless her soul, 92. She's sharp. I talk to her like I do anyone else. Well, I don't call her fuck nuts like we would Dre or Bacon, but a little more respect there. They're not invalids. Oh, what's up? Yeah, you do? Okay, cool. How's things? Yeah? Yeah, well, that's good. Ah, dang it. Who's going to pass this truck? Hey, Dad, yeah, make a joke. Something about age, he gets it. But if you do that, you folks, I don't know, is it going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy? You treat your parents like invalids, they end up becoming invalids? You treat minorities like half-competent white people, then they end up becoming, you got a wage gap, you got a health gap, you got a life expectancy gap, which is the truest form of racism out there. Or is it the bigotry of the soft bigotry of low expectations? Who said that? I forgot who that was. But yeah, you treat everyone like a kid. Dave, leave your parents, they're fine. Let's go. So I trained Chad Elkins. Oh, look, there's a hang glider. That lucky fuck. Look at him. I'm going to do that when I get into South Dakota. He's just hang gliding up there. Look, you guys can't see. He's just above the desert. Look at him. Happier than shit. Oh, look how fun it is. Oh, lucky bastard. I'm going to do that when I'm older. Because you can't do things when you're younger. Yeah, he's coming down. All I want to do is pass this truck. So I visited Elkins, and I've been stepping up my cardio a little bit. You have to. Keep you sane. Stuck in a fucking prison. Everyone's in the Truman Show now. You wearing your masks? Shut the fuck up, lady. And I went, visited Elkins, and he proceeded to kick my ass. And I'm like, oh dang, if I'm gonna go to Moab with these people, all right, hang on, can I pass this guy? Yep, we're gonna pass him. Oh, by the way, an aside before I get to how I had to train up in Moab, I have a new opinion on semi-truck drivers. I used to respect semi-truck drivers. I used to. It was a real job. You guys bust your asses off. You are literally the blood the hemoglobin that flows through the veins and arteries of the U.S. and any other country's highway transportation system. And I understood you driving long, and you see a lot of bad driving. I think that generation of truck drivers has gone away. Because I don't know what fuckwits are in charge of these trucks now. Maybe you're millennial soy boys. I don't know. You truck drivers drive like fucking shit. You drive like pussies. Don't tell me your truck is not designed to go the speed limit. Every fucking time. Like right now, I passed that one truck. Look, he's doing 50 miles an hour and 60. Now what? Look, I'm doing 5 over the speed limit. What am I coming up against? Another semi-truck. Because I know on the interstate you guys go faster, so you're capable of going the speed. Why don't you go the speed? Don't hit the woodchuck, Aaron. Oh, that's a prairie dog. And so there's always been bad apples in every barrel. I get it, but now it's like half of you fuckers. If you're coming up on a semi truck, it's like a Karen. You guys are the Karens of the U.S. highway system now. You're always going under the speed limit. You're always going painfully slow. You're nursing your turns. It's like one time I was trying to get into the Mavericks, get myself some gas, and there's a line, and we're waiting for the semi truck to make his grandpa turn. Nothing's stopping him. I'm looking like, what is he doing? Aaron, you don't see. No, you don't see, fucker. You don't see. That didn't happen 20 years ago. Been driving across the U.S. quite for a long time now. Something has happened in the past 5 years, whereas now I see a semi-truck instead of, old wise man helping out America. Like, what's this retard of the highway doing now? What's this cripple? Just put a handicap. Here, every semi-truck driver, put a fucking handicap sticker on your truck, because that's how you drive. Oh, and how many times now has it happened? In the 90s, back in the 90s, somebody's got a heavy load. Truck driver, semi-truck driver in the right lane. Heavy load, going uphill, flashes on. Okay, buddy, we see you. But then some dickhead, probably millennial semi-truck driver, has got to pass him. So you think, okay, he's got enough steam in his engine. He's going to be able to make it past him. Oh, fuck no. You get in the passing lane, and what do you two do? You stand there side to side for hours, blocking all of the fucking traffic. The passer going past the passee ain't going past the passee. He's just sitting next to, hey, what's up, buddy? Hi. Are you a handicapped retard truck driver too? So am I. Let's block all of the traffic. Incrementally, like an inch every minute, going faster than the other passee. Oh, I guess you are passing the passee, Mr. Passer. 15 minutes, and then a traffic jam. Well, I've seen it happen in the middle of fucking nowhere, Nebraska. There's a fucking traffic jam because some dipshit fucking semi-truck driver thought he was going to pass the other one and just parks his fucking dumbass, retarded handicap ass in the left lane. So I'm sorry, semi-truck drivers, gone. Get the fuck out of here. No longer my friend. A new generation of semi-truck drivers has come along, and I hate you. There's been times I've wanted to, just fuck with them. And I would. I'd fuck with traffic. Like, I'd hit my brakes. I was going to say I matured now, but then I remember, 2 years ago, some lady was doing her makeup and not paying attention. I just hit the brakes. I got ahead of her, hit the brakes, saw her in the rearview mirror, slam on the brakes, and all of her makeup go flying. Little tap of love there, bitch. Wake the fuck up. But I haven't fucked with semi-trucks because they're a little bit bigger, and, I try to understand. But, man, there are a couple times on this trip, it's in the mountain, you want to be a dick. Here, what real semi-truck drivers are out there? What few of you remain? Of the old school, the old generation. You get in front of a semi-truck before you're going uphill, and a big hill with a steep grade. You just slow down. Make him so he can't get his running start. He can't. It's like, you get down to your lowest fucking gear, bitch. Fuck you. But as for the new generation. Anyway, I taught by Chad. I was in bad cardiovascular shape. So I went to Vegas for a couple days, almost a week, before going to Moab. And I used that shit to train. Went up to Mount Charleston area, a lot of that, because you had to. It was like in the 90s, down below in the basin. I did Black Peak, and it was about 90 degrees. I'm like, oh, I can't do this and that. I did it, but it was miserable. And so I said, okay, we're going to go up into the mountains. It was beautiful, wonderful, like 60, 70 degrees. Nice, cool wind. Got sunburned, though. The sun's up there, you forget that. And I ended up blistering on my shoulder. I'm going to pass this guy. A truck with a trailer. Come on, baby. Come on. Here we go. See, there's another example. You trailer driving fucks. I'm talking a regular truck with a, just a little trailer. This guy has an empty trailer. What? You can't go 65 miles an hour? You got I'm looking at him right now. Brand new Chevy Silverado. Much nicer than mine. Newer, bigger engine. And he's going 5 under the speed limit. He's pulling an empty trailer. That truck is capable of going faster. But I got a trailer. How dang diggly dangly do? Gotta get my razor. Razor, not shaving razor. It's a thing by Polaris. 4-wheeler. Get my 4-wheeler, but I gotta drive slow. I got my big truck. Look at my big truck with its diesel Dodge diesel Hemi and the dually with the dually tires. I got a big fucking engine. Don't fucking use it none. Cause I'm a who dang do dang diggly do. By the way, come out to the sticks. You'll learn to hate white people too. An aside. Let me tell you another aside. Don't worry. We'll get to my training program and how awesome I am. Don't worry. I'll talk about myself later. Don't worry about that. So the Great One came for all 4 days of Moab. A great hiker. And we learned philosophy of hiking. And Rose stuck around for 2 days. Sergeant Greg was in and out. And then everybody who stabbed their knife in my back, they didn't show up. The Great One's an old man. He's ancient. It's tough not having a job and being laid off and doing a podcast every once in a while. It's hard doing that, man. So this he goes to bed at about, I bet you he goes to bed at about 9 regularly. But he indulged me. He was very charitable and kind. I would stay up sometimes till 9:30. So he goes to bed early, and I'm all wired because this is like the dog in the playground. Oh, I love Moab. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted to do. So like, all right, Captain, gonna go and hit the bed. I'm like, all right, good night, Great One. I'm like, oh shit, there's nothing to do. So in a town called Monticello, and in Utah, things are open, so you're treated like an adult. There's no fucktards wearing the little masks. There's no little signs like, well, you can't sit here. We have to spread apart. Hey, can I get a table? Sure. See yourself, Shug. Had a girl from, I believe, Texas. Older lady. Go ahead, sit wherever you want, Shug. I'm like, I like her. You can't hate a woman that says Shug. It's like, nice lady. So I sit down where I want. There's no masks. There's no tape on the fucking ground. It was a restaurant bar. I'm like, yes. So I went there one night just to kill time because we had already hiked. It's dark out again today. It's cold too. Monticello, I think it's like 7,000 feet up. Ugh, chilly. And I ended up talking to these 2 gals. They're locals. And one gal very interesting, nice girl. Mormon, they're both Mormon, so I learned a little bit about the Mormon faith, a little bit different. But then, I'm talking to the other gal. They're very young gals. They're adults. Obviously in their younger 20s. And both Mormons. But then the one gal, I understand if you're going to have a drink or anything, I'll turn a blind eye to it. But the other one, like, oh yeah, I have 2 kids. And she says, my not my sugar daddy, what do they call him? Sperm donor. Yeah, the sperm donor just left, because this is the one bar in town. I'm like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like, okay. Let's take religion out of this. Logic would say, don't have kids out of wedlock. Don't have kids you can't afford. Let alone 2 of them. So that's logic. Like, you sit down and think. But then the Mormon faith is pretty strict. Like, no booze, no caffeine, no tobacco. Okay, I'm not questioning. But if you're going to that level, I think having premarital sex and having kids out of wedlock, let alone not marrying the guy, what the fuck? And it reminded me, because you saw other elements of this, all the, like two not fat women. All the women are fat. The bartender, yeah, it was a bartender. Something, yeah, my sperm donor. Because fuck it, right? You guys vote with the next to the guy or the gal with the R in front of the name, and you like your guns. Well, who dang, I like my guns. And I'm Republican America. But hey, you spit out kids like a machine gun does, bullets, and there ain't a father attached, and then sperm donor. And it just reconfirmed that I made the right choice getting a vasectomy like 10 days. There is no future in this country. Nobody, no fucking body, whether there's an R or an L or a D in front of the people you vote for. It doesn't matter. Nobody is responsible. Nobody. Nobody loves, nobody cares. It's just do what feels good at the moment. Spit out a kid. Spit out a couple kids. And then hate the guy. That was the other thing. Being the great one we're talking. And like, okay, you're religious. You're supposed, not the great one, but presumably you're religious. You don't do the booze. You won't do caffeine. But you'll fornicate. You'll have premarital sex. Oh, but then the religion kicks in. Well, I can't have an abortion. Otherwise, that's bad. Well, what is this? Cafeteria Mormonism? I won't drink the booze. I won't have the caffeine. I won't have the tobacco. Oh, but penis and vagina spit out child, I will. And we're just sitting there. It's like the idea of like, a sperm donor was there. My sperm donor. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that guy that you hate, the sperm donor, they hated sperm donor, wasn't this the guy that you liked so much and wanted so much to be inside you? You gave him the most, I wouldn't say most important thing, which I don't believe. I don't believe a woman giving herself sexually to a man is the most important thing. I think psychologically, mentally, loving someone, but that's an aside. But that's a pretty important. It's not like, yeah, here's a cigarette, buddy. Oh, yeah, here's a box of matches, yeah. No, you let the guy not only put himself inside you, but come inside you. Like you wanted his baby. You so wanted his baby. This was the guy. Billions of years of genetics and evolution, millions of years of human genetics, and you wanted his seed, and you were in love, or you were in lust, and you wanted him, and now, 2 years later, sperm donor. Baby daddy. Well, what the fuck, ladies? The great one is against women having the right to vote. He against women's suffrage. I am not. I have a different voting plan, suffrage plan, that does not look at traits you were born with. It looks at actions. But that's a topic of a different aside. But god damn it, ladies, your lack of ability, not all of you, but you single moms, which is what, half the population of mother-age women now? I mean, you can't pick a guy for shit. You can't pick a guy to breed with for shit. Have you end up getting divorced? 70% of the time it's the women filing the divorce. 30% of the time it's the guy. Well, guys, you also got a little bit of responsibility. Like, how do you select your women? You girls really pick shitty men. You got really shitty ability to pick men. And by the way, you got really shitty ability to pick men who to breed with. Because if you got that much buyer's remorse, the sperm donor! Dangly diggly doo! What? Why are we allowing you to vote on who to run our financial and monetary and governmental and judicial systems? If you can't figure out the deadbeat mullet-wearing schmuck who lives at home and in a trip, if you can't figure out, that's a bad idea to have him make a sperm deposit in your own little private sperm bank down there. If you can't figure out that's a bad idea, why are you voting on who should go represent you on monetary, fiscal policy, foreign policy, war, laws? I understand you. I disagree because, as we all know, it would be unfair to the women who didn't have illegitimate children. It'd be unfair to the women who just can't seem to get the intelligence to pick anybody but a sperm donor. Yeah, I'd like to say, oh, you're an engineer? My voting system, by the way, is if you pay taxes. That's it. You get your and you don't collect a government check. Because everybody pays taxes. I mean, you file, but you can't collect a government check. You can't be a ward on the state. So there's many fine men and women of all colors and stripes and I don't know how many humans have stripes, but let's say they have stripes, which would be kind of cool at first, but freaky later. All different varieties of humans across all classes that all don't collect government checks, right? Those are the people that should vote. But if we're talking generally, and unprincipled, I might add, if you want to categorize, women shouldn't have the right to vote. No, that's wrong. But by God, even the gal I didn't meet. Okay, I did meet one gal that didn't have kids. Thank God. But even the gal, another guy, I can't mention where because it's a small town. People, oh my God, you know this guy? Talked about us. There's another gal. Yeah, I was away for a year and then I came back. I went to college and had a couple kids. What? And immediately, you don't have to look anymore, gentlemen. By the way, if you're in the who-dang-diggly-ding-dang-diggly-do-ville, you don't got to look for the ring. That's just if you want to, confirm that you should be more cynical about society. But I looked for the ring. Of course, it's not. Yes, she's a fat white chick. Of course she is. Of course. I went to college so I could work this shitty here, dude, dang diggly. Dude, I forgot. She says, yeah, I used to work this job back when I was younger. But then I went off to college for 4 years and got pregnant, had a couple kids, and now I'm back. I'm like, well, what the fuck was the college for? Fuck! I'm trying to argue principles and ethics, and here's Great One just looking at me like, giving me the, hey, you still think women should have the right to vote look? Still like, I mean, I'm right, the Great One's wrong, but God damn it, there's so many data points of you dumbass fucking broads fucking up not only your life, but the lives of your children. Just true NPCs. I went to college. Oh, really, Miss IQ 85? You went to college for what? For what? I did this job I've been doing since I was 16 years old. Then I went to college because I'm a smart and powered woman. They said so on the interwebs. I can do anything. That Megan Arapahoe soccer chase, she said it on the interwebs. And in my public school that's over in the shed, where the good-looking teacher has all his teeth, he said I could do anything. So I went to Plumfuck Egypt Community College. Then I fell in love with it, but then he lied to me. He's just a sperm donor. And I got my 2 or 3 years of cotton, and I wasn't tarnation I was made. They don't say tarnation now. We're going more proper south. This is more Utah. And then, oops, somebody's sperm ended up inside me, despite me being religious. And I'm an educated, smart woman. I'm so smart, I don't know that having kids I can't afford without a husband go done up, fuck my life up. And I came back here to home with my college education to do the exact same job I was doing at 16, but this time with 2 little shits in tow. Then you're just like, oh, fuck it. Just fuck it. Yeah, lady, just keep voting Republican. Keep voting Republican, but go on the fucking dome. And so, now me and the great one were laughing. It was a great philosophical time, because you're out there. We hiked hours, tons of hours, miles, many miles. And I thought I was cynical and jaded, but the great one, we got the concept, there's 0 fucks given or no fucks to give, but he has an absolute value, absolute 0 investment in this society. Like, he has none. None. Like, he doesn't care. Like, yeah, he just laughs at the girl as a single pregnant mother. Who dang do. And he's like, oh, Cappy, you're so optimistic. That's him. He said that many times, like, well, yeah, well, what are, like, oh, Cappy, you're so... And then I'd be like, no, but it can't be that bad. And then he'd point out, like, oh, yeah, it is. And I think you got to get to the 0, absolute 0. Like, not only, most of us have 0 fucks to give, but we also, what you got to get to the point is that you give up on potentially finding fucks to give. See, maybe that's what I've got 0 fucks to give. But if society were to change around a little bit, and Mormon girls wouldn't get fucking pregnant out of wedlock, then I'd say, oh, well, maybe I'll go back to the fuck store and get some so I can give them. And he's like, nope, he doesn't even go to the fuck. He gets rid of that hope to go to the fuck store to buy some fucks that he can give them. He has nothing left for society, nothing. And what happens when you get to that level of zen, like where you're actively cheering on the demise of everyone, Republican, Democrat, Conservative, Libertarian, because you realize just because there's an R in front of their name doesn't mean jack fuck all shit. I go to college, worked the job I had when I was 16 to have my children out of wedlock by the sperm donor. And then he could hike. I was envious of the great one. He achieved like this total zen where he doesn't care. And that was the greatest thing about it, is this whole trip. I achieved zen in one regard, and that is I did not worry about this coronavirus. I just went out and hiked. I don't listen to the news anyway. But being in Utah, because Utah is open, it's just like life is normal. Like, no, that corona, all the corona news, all you people with your fucking mask. I found out the Minneapolis mayor's like, we're requiring everyone to have a mask in the city limits of Minneapolis. Fine. I don't care. Not going to go to Minneapolis. I guess no one's going to Minneapolis. It didn't bother me. It was a different world. Matter of fact, this entire coronavirus has been a different... I don't know. This is you people. This is a foreign place on a foreign planet. This isn't my life. I've been going out every day, getting my exercise, walking around, buying food. And Utah just made that even more pronounced, where it's like, no, we have our restaurants open. You could come here. Oh, some of them more in Moab, they're kind of touchy-feely, emotional leftist pussy Democrats. I thought, like, see, this is tape in the line, you're supposed to stand here. But if they were open, you could go in, mull about, talk around, sit there. Some precious virtue signalers are still wearing their masks. And I saw them get into like a white SUV from New Jersey. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. You guys are from the pussy states, and I do mean that. You're from the pussy states. But it didn't, we're out. You know what doesn't give a shit about coronavirus? The mountains, the canyons, the Colorado River, the Green River. They don't give a shit. They're still there, still just as beautiful as ever. The Pueblo ruins, the ancient, I think it was Anasari, but it could be Ute Indians. Doesn't really matter, I guess. The petroglyphs don't care. They're there. They're forever. They're eternal. And I got to see them. Got to do what I fucking want, because my life isn't based around the internet or the TVs or being at the homes and watching the Netflix or the news. Fox News did not get me riled up today. Like DT. Criticism I'll point out to DT, because I love him. I care about him. He's a good brother. It was bliss. It was bliss. Out there hiking. Did he care about the single moms? The scourge of single moms in the Who-Dang Diggly, Do-Dang Digglyville, Utah? It's a town. Look it up, Atham. I'll spell it for you later. And, but then there'd be times, though, talking with the girl philosophically, and he not only didn't care about Corona, he doesn't care about anything anymore. The girls, oh yeah, there'd be a cute hike, like, look at that, wow, you know, I want to get that. And I'm like, why don't you go after it? Nah, whoa, chase? Pursue? No. Oh, yeah, good heavens, yes, oh my goodness, no. And how he just has no investment in society. None. And I thought I was pretty unplugged, stoic, zen, until I hiked with the Great One. And I got it. I'm like, oh yeah. Because all I'm doing... Now, I wrote Enjoy the Decline, and he criticized me correctly, so maybe you ought to read your own book. But I still had this investment, these fucks, these little micro fucks to give, these little seeds that would grow to be genuine, full-grown fucks that I could maybe give. It's like, the individuals in my life, you know, fuck society, but my tribe, the people, the elites that I came, no, you can't even give a fuck about that. Even on an academic level, like where I found it now maybe that's progress. I found it highly entertaining and amusing having all these Mormon girls, well, not all, a handful, a couple, you know, all these ladies in this heavily Mormon town talking about their sperm donor. Find the hypocrisy, the contradiction, highly amusing and entertaining. And I was laughing where the one guy, I got 2 baby sperm donors right there. I just laughed. Like, because their lives are fucked. So maybe that's the progress, but still that there's a slight agitation, a slight bump up in my heart rate, a little bit of cortisol added that I don't need. And the Great One taught me something. Another thing. Him and Rhodes taught me I was wrong. Not morally or ethically, but I'm abnormal. And because I'm abnormal, I cannot force my standards or my expectations of what I want to do on people who are otherwise perfectly normal and doing what they should be doing. Specifically hiking. So I trained up in Las Vegas. Got adjusted to high altitudes, inclines, So when I got to Moab, I was in great shape. Oh, I was sitting down there looking at my heart rate. It got down to 48 beats a minute. So I'm doing pretty good. So this trip to Moab was like my first real foray where I did some serious hiking in Moab. Other times I was only spending a day or two or I was driving through. And so I had a mission. I'm like, I'm going to get as many hikes. I want to figure out the area. I want to do a lot of hikes, figure it out, and, and so I can understand, like, oh, this is a good hike, this is a bad hike, this is where I go, this is where I don't go. So the first day, we did 3 different hikes. And by the third hike, Rose, who is actually an athlete, because I thought she was going to kick both our asses. She's younger. She is an actual athlete, cardio athlete, not weightlifting. Yeah, I'm like, oh, she's going to kick our ass. She had to turn back. Then we got to this one point, I'm like, hey, if we go up there, we can see over the Colorado River. When we get up to this Moab, I want to call it a mountain, I call it a hill, but it's all rock. There's no trees, so there's no dirt, which is great for me because you got great grip. You're running on concrete, essentially. And the great one lies on his back just to catch his breath. And I was like, oh, dang. I'm in great fucking shape. So now it makes me wonder what kind of shape Elkins is in, because he's got to be in amazing shape then. And when we went hiking on these other hikes and some hikes I went on in Vegas, I realized we were not getting passed. We were passing everyone. And by the third day, our buddy Rose had left. And it was just me and the Great One. And the Great One could keep up with me. And he says, Clarey, you're not enjoying these hikes. All you do is go up to the hike to get to the destination to get back down to say you did it. I'm like, no, but I'm paying attention. I'm looking at things. He's like, yeah, but are you enjoying it? I'm like, I understand your point. But since I am here on basically a reconnaissance mission, I got to get, and I'm not, it's hard to get to Moab, guys. Your best bet is to fly to Salt Lake City, and it's still, I think, a 4.5 hour drive. And then Moab is also incredibly expensive. It is $300 a night on average during normal times. That's why I went this time, because hotel prices are a lot cheaper. We didn't even do the national parks. They're closed. We did just federal land. So it's like, it is work, Great One. It is a reconnaissance mission. I am here with a mission, and I got to make my time count. But after, 3 days of some hardcore hiking, solid hiking, I started figuring out the area, drove around, we did a couple road trips, figured out Utah. Like, okay, that's where that river goes, that's where this formation ends, this is where that goes, this is where that, okay. Oh, I don't have to hike this area because the hikes are kind of bland and boring and repetitive. This is another hike we'll save for later. I'm going to save area for Bluff and Blanding, Utah. Have them look it up. Saving that for later. But I scratched my itch. I figured it out. This is one of the last areas in the United States that I had to kind of explore and figure out where's the best, what's behind there. Maybe I'm still too childish. Maybe I'm naive. I got to figure out what's behind her. What's behind there? Aren't you curious? So by the last day, I agreed with the Great One. I would go his speed. I was going to take it easy and go his speed. And it was nice and relaxing. We still went a good clip. And what all of a sudden I realized, hiking at the Great One's speed, we passed at least 30 people. And we're only passed by one gal who was a trail runner. And who knows, maybe she didn't run. We were taking a break and she was running down the trail, so maybe she was just going downhill. But we didn't catch up to her later, so I think that's a legit pass. I think she passed it. I think she's better. Even at the leisure pace of the Great One, who, by the way, would squirrel off to every little spur or side trail and take a picture, we still beat everyone out of that up and out of that canyon. And I realized mathematically he's right. I mean, now that I've scratched my itch, I've done enough reconnoitering, I figured out what was out there. Now maybe going forward, I can relax. And for me to force my level of hiking on other people, it's not fun for them. It's not. I even noticed this with the GF. The GF is in nowhere near as good a shape as me. Nowhere near. Yes, I'd like her to lose weight. Yes, I'd like her to go on more hikes. Yes, I'd like her to be adventurous. Yeah, all these things, real job, real person, real obligation. And okay, she got a real job. We're in Vegas, we're up in the mountains. And I knew she's not in good a shape. And so I'm waiting. When we got really high up, we're like, we had to be at least 10. At least 10. Oxygen is not there. She is not acclimated. I understand. Stopping at every switchback, which you will happen. You think, well, how can you go 50 yards up a switchback? Yeah, but not when there's no oxygen. Just try it. I did hell at Peak, and I was fine the first 9/10ths. It was the last 10th where I'd scramble up, maybe 25 yards and be out of breath. There's just not enough oxygen. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. Even with her essentially, in my opinion, being a cripple, where I didn't even get any, my Fitbit tracks, and I guess my Rose explained, my anaerobic or anorexic, my heart is so efficient, or my lungs are so efficient, my heart doesn't have to beat that much to get oxygen to the rest of my body. And so if we looked at heart rates, I wasn't even in cardio. That's according to Fitbit. And I certainly wasn't in peak. Peak is what they call it on Fitbit, but I think it's called anaerobic, where your heart is beating so fast because it's going to flood your system with enough oxygen, but you can't take in anymore. She explained it to me. I forgot what it was. That's how you train your heart to be more powerful, I guess. So you can increase your cardio by going anaerobic. And when I was going up with the GF, I'd even hit fat burning stage. It was like, you got an hour. So on this 6-hour hike, my heart was rarely above 100 beats a minute. Oh, she was dying. She was an anaerobic the entire time. But at that lethargic pace, at this pace where I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting, making accommodations. There's no rush. It didn't dawn on me that we passed people and no one passed us. And I was sitting there, wait a minute. There's some serious hikers there too. She's dying. She is not having fun. No one has fun with me when we hike, apparently. And then I was like, she's not having fun, but she still beat everybody. We were still first place. At that moment in time, we were first place on the mountain. Not that it's a competition. I'm using this to show, we passed people, nobody passed us. We passed these two young guys. I thought they were gonna repass us. There was one guy running down, and you looked at him, he's just chiseled. I'm like, okay, he's the number one guy. He could kick me up my ass if I was unencumbered. But then Rose, a great one, showed me, look, you're a great hiker. You're going, and to expect people to go at your level is going to not make this fun for anybody else. Not everybody is on a mission to explore this area so they know what's beyond. Maybe they're just happy looking at the hike, at the cliffs and the trails. Not everybody is trying to make up for lost time where you didn't have a childhood, you didn't have money, you pissed away your 20s working hard and living in base. Not everybody is trying to make up for it. Additionally, not everybody has the philosophy of adventuring and excellence in adventuring. And probably the best part of this entire trip was when me and Great One sat and had cigars at the hotel because we got back before the sun went down. And he was right. I personally thought it was great because in my mind, we had done enough work. We had achieved, we had explored, we had adventured. But that was even though we saw all these amazing things, Corona Arch, ironically enough, was the first hike we did. so beautiful. And still the best thing, yeah, the great one was right. He was sitting and relaxing and having a cigar and doing nothing. Actually, road tripping to Grand Junction to get cigars was pretty good. That was pretty funny because we drove, I think, 4 hours round trip just to get cigars. But I also want to show Great One Gateway, Colorado. Little did I know the Great One hates driving, and so we had to keep pulling over so he could show. He's a taller fellow. Although for me, everyone's a taller fellow. Except for SPERRRRM at robsays.net. Visit robsays.net. And so it was just wonderful. I got the reconnaissance in. I scratched that in. This was like the biggest part of the United States that I needed to explore. And I figured it out. I did my mission. I accomplished it. I got in great cardiovascular shape. Oh, man, I got to go find Denver Ben. Like the guys who are better than me. The people that I'm like, I gotta keep up with Khan. I got to keep up with Dirty Harriet. I got to keep up with Denver Ben. These guys are elites. They're your top 1% of 1%. I don't compare, but I'm at their heels. Now I could probably not embarrass those people. So I'm in great shape now. Got my sleeping resting heart rate down to 52 beats a minute. I want to get into the 40s just once. Won't happen because I gotta go back to Minnesota where it's just so fucking wonderful. But then learned some philosophy, had my buddies around, hanging out with my buddies at Chum, but learned a lot of philosophy from the Great One. Learned I was wrong. Learned I am aberrant to a fault, to where people aren't going to want to hang out with me anymore. And it's not that I'm morally wrong, but I am wrong. I am erroneous. Normal people, not even normal people are in great shape. Sometimes maybe they just want to hike and enjoy. And to give absolutely no fucks whatsoever. Don't even have seeds of fucks. Get rid of it out of your mind to possibly in the future someday you might go to the fuck store to buy some fucks that you might give them later on in a point in life. Let go. And that was the great thing about the last hike. It was just letting go. Just looking around. Hey, look. The rest of it, that was... And now that there's no fucks to give, not only can you thoroughly enjoy the hiking or whatever it is you're doing without worrying about work or philosophy or all that, it was added icing to the cake, knowing that other people are losing their fucking minds. We drove to Cortez, Colorado. Atham, look it up, because we're going to go hike Canyon of the Ancients. Colorado's still in lockdown. You can't go to the cafe. And you read the newspapers. You know, there's like a newspaper stand that you put your 25 cents in to buy a newspaper. Well, I don't know why they exist anymore, but it was, I don't know, the Denver Post. Front page, Colorado, COVID deaths adjusted 25% down because they re-looked at the coroner's report and they died of, alcohol poisoning or cancer or heart attack. It wasn't COVID. They just happened to have COVID in their system. And everybody, and all you had to do was cross this arbitrary line on Highway 419 between Monticello and Cortez. And then the world loses its... The world has its act together where Mormon girls just get prematurely pregnant. And on the other side, the sky is falling in Cortez, Colorado. And just the mayor of Minneapolis, now we're going to force you to wear masks because they just got a power trip. I'm not going to go into it, but it's not because they care about the people. They don't love the people. They got a power trip. They got to do something. We have to ban straws. We have to ban drive-thrus because it's important that it looks like I'm doing something. So that my legacy isn't just, I kind of autopiloted the government. Everything was pretty okay. We had the right amount of laws. I think we're doing good here. I'll just make sure maybe we even get rid of some laws. No, I have to do something because it's important. I have a legacy. I have to have the choo-choo train in the Twin Cities. So I did something. fucked up the economy, destroyed lots of lives, but I did something. Just all this do-gooderism, this pure form of evil and sanctimonious self-importance. That's you fuckers. That's the citizens of Colorado. That's the citizens of Minneapolis. And the fucking Italian douche, of which that doesn't narrow it down in New York because there's so many Italian douche politicians. The Governor Cuomo. Oh. And it's all the leftist states that are fucking themselves over. I don't care. Matter of fact, it's nice to see other people suffering. So it's not only that I don't care, and I have a truly free mind. I'm the samurai, cutting his bonsai tree, not letting the world around me bother me, achieving true zen, true contentment, true calm. Appreciating that the mountains and the petroglyphs and the adobe dwellings are still there and will always be there. And I am enjoying this and not letting the insanity of the inferior people that populate the world around me ruin my day. I am enjoying the extra icing on this zen cake is that you insane fucknuts, you fuckwits, are screaming around and suffering that the sky is falling. And I just, Great One's just a little bit further down that race of zen and stoicism and contentment than I am. And maybe I caught up to him. Maybe we're neck and neck now. Not that there's a race, but there is a finish line. I think the Great One he got to the finish line before me. There's a status, a plateau, a peak to reach, a goal, and I think I've reached that. Where you don't let anything bother you now. Not a fucking thing. Because the Great One I had a grand old time. Probably because my work ethic needed to be like, I did it. I adventured. It was one of the last things, not necessarily on the bucket list, but on the scratching of the to-do list. I had a great old time, but the Great One had a better time. Because he just chilled out. Me frantically running up the hills, mountains, canyons, cliffs. I'm done now. See, like, now I know. I'm driving here on Interstate 70. Now I know what's over that hill. I know what's over those cliffs. I know the mountains are over there. I know there's trail. I know what trails to do, what trails not to do. I know that I gotta stop holding everybody up to my standards, because not only is no one gonna make it, it's irrational. No one's gonna make it. Oh, there's a handful of people, like not the Great One, Denver Ben, the talented Mr. Lee, dirty hair. They will all, and I will, in my own personal goal setting, try to achieve it. But no, I cannot expect the Mormon girls of Utah to have children in wedlock. I can't expect humans who claim we are for Principle X to not violate Principle X. I can't expect the sheeple and the Democrats who, especially not only in Democrat states, but especially in Democrat cities, I can't expect them to get their heads out of their asses and wake up and live a good. But I can, one, let go and accept certain people are not going to do certain things. That's perfectly all right. There's nothing wrong with them. But I can also accept the intellectually inferior, the lazy, and the stupid are going to fuck their lives up. And no matter how much they're trying to fuck my life up, I'm going to chill out and zen. I'm going to live they're not going to stop me. I'm going to enjoy my life. And it's kind of think, this is a big hurdle. This is big. It's done now. The war is over. I'm not going to worry about when my house is built. It'll get built. But I want to be like the Great One, where I don't let a motherfucking thing at all bother me. If I feel like going to Colorado, I will. If I feel like going to Utah, I will. Sponsors. PushingRubberDownhill.com. Go visit our buddy Piggott, who also stabbed his knife in my back. Not a lot of real estate left in Cappy's back when he invites everybody to go hiking and nobody can make it. You know, if I want to become a billionaire, I'd sell knives that you specially designed to be stabbed in Cappy's back. And if you'd like to read the writings of somebody who stabbed Cappy in the back, go to pushingrubberdownhill.com. Now, if you really want someone, the type of guy, if you want to read his writings at that blog or his book by the same name, Pushing Rubber Downhill, or his other book, Run Guts Pull Cones, and his podcast at Pushing Rubber Downhill. If the intellect of somebody who would stab Cappy in the back, if that would pique your interest, you should go read it. But here's another thing to whet your appetite, to make Adam Piggott seem even more of an interesting intellect and brain. He's also the type that, despite all this adventuring, all that, drives like a grandmother. Now, how you can square that hole around the numbers out on that, how you can have such an adventuring spirit, but you drive like an 80-year-old woman, that's Adam Piggott. So, it's almost a grandmotherly old person who has the ability to stab Cappy in the back and do whitewater rafting and ride a motorcycle across Australia. Lord knows how long it took him to do that, since he drives like a grandma. Go to pushingrubberdownhill.com. Better Bachelor, check him out on YouTube. Good podcast there. TJ Martinell at tjmartinell.com. Silvio Canto, you can find him on Blog Talk Radio at Canto Talk, Canto. What else? Oh, Academic Composition. Go to academiccomposition.com to have Alex and his team of writing staff write your papers for you. He is also always hiring people to write and to do marketing. You can do that from home. Because the Wuhan flu has proven that all boomer bosses are lying sacks of shit that need to have a come to Jesus. They need to have a meeting with Jesus. Like, there's a table, and at this table is Jesus, and also at the table is the great and merciful Corona Chan. And then they're going to talk to the boomer and say, hey, how you doing? We see here that your entire life was vampiring off of the younger generations, both financially and mentally. Could you explain why you did that? Yes, where you rescinded a job offer here and you made entire generations commute unnecessarily so that they'd have the exact same marital strife and divorce statistics that your generation. Could you please explain why you did that to two young generations? Why did you? Please tell us, Mr. Boomer. And there's Corona Chan just sharpening up her knife. Just sharpening up her knife. And then Jesus asking him, what else? I don't know. Buy my books. Bachelor Pad Economics. Poor Richard's Retirement. Poor Richard's Retirement is very philosophical. So is Enjoy the Decline. If you like this podcast, want to achieve it, read those books. The hard part is implementing them, which I admit, I fail at sometimes. The book I wrote, but then sold it, and it was slightly edited, but still a great book. How Not to Become a Millennial. That you got to get. You know what? That makes a great graduation gift for your little Zoomer kids graduating from high school. If your kids aren't going to go to high school, get them that book. Are they going to read it? Fuck no. Who's going to read it? If you have a hate boner for boomers and millennials, get the book. Every Gen Xer should really read that book. Every Gen Xer really should. Not that all Gen Xers are saint. They certainly are not. Most of them, frankly, are dickheads. But in terms of douchebaggery, we have the lowest percentage of all the, the boomers are about 90%, millennials are 92%. And Gen X is like 85%. Oh, don't worry. The vast majority of them are douchebags. Don't get me wrong. Still Mormon girls having kids out of wedlock. Going to college. There is a cow right next to the interstate. He has made it out of the fence. How did that happen? I would call somebody because a farmer does that. Cows are worth something, man. You think cows aren't worth? Cows are worth $800. That's $800 sitting right there. Somebody would call Farmer Brown. We're on the interstate. I'm on I-70. That's very rare. It's not only very rare. I've never seen it before. That's not good. All right, and that's it. Do me a favor. Go to YouTube, look up Older Brother, and subscribe to that channel. If you guys like my podcast, I know I haven't done the Great and Merciful Corona channel in a while. I've been getting the fuck out of Dodge, making sure I got so mentally healthy. So mentally healthy. Feel so much better. Watch, I'll go back to my depressive route once I get to Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota's so bad for your health. The upper Midwest, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, just... Oh, fuck. You might as well kill you. Like, if you had to live there the rest of your life, just kill yourself. Just fucking kill yourself. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. What was I going to say? I'll be doing more Corona Chan when I get back into town. Once I get my setup. But, subscribe to the Older Brother channel on YouTube, because I also do a podcast there. I should be doing one a week. I don't because of the Corona Chan virus, because I'm very busy working, and now I've obviously put work off for 2 weeks. We'll be back to a regular scheduled program in about 4 days. And then I may just go get the hell out of Dodge again. Go find a hotel. Finish the book. I'm not going to stay fucking Afton. Oh, what's open in Woodbury? Hey, look! All the pussies wearing their fucking masks. All the virtue signalers. So I'll probably go somewhere else to write. But do subscribe to the Older Brother podcast. Oh, I didn't know you have... Yeah, I got. Let me explain everything I got. So if you want, you can subscribe. You get your notifications. 1, I know you're all subscribed to the main channel, this one, Aaron Clarey. Resubscribe. Because the YouTube, I got a lot of people saying, hey, I'm not getting notifications. Well, that's very possible. You know how YouTube is. Their censored department of Karens. Another podcast I have is the Corona Chan podcast, also on this channel. I will throw it up on SoundCloud. So you could go to, search SoundCloud, Aaron Clarey, it's all there. If you want MP3s. I have the Older Brother podcast that is on a separate channel on YouTube. Subscribe there. I do that once a week. And if you're willing to pay money for a Patreon membership, I think it's $1 a month is the minimum, you get access to the Road Trip podcast, which is me just rambling like I'm doing now on a road trip. But I'm uploading this as the Clarey podcast because I already did one. That doesn't have that many. Maybe we got 10 of those. And that's it. So you can find. All right, I'm logging out. I'm going to get myself a Diet Coke. I'm going to have a cigar. And we'll see you kids later. Toodles.